Well, after some interesting time watching the prequels, we finally hit the original trilogy.
Clearly the inferior trilogy.
Oh, by far. I mean Jar Jar, where is he?
Oh my god. I mean, he was the kid of all of it.
Yeah, I know.
Where was he?
Come on. Oh, in all seriousness, guys, yeah, we're back with the actual, real good, you know,
the
movies.
ones that actually matter for Episode 7, because as far as I know, Disney has written out all the prequels. I believe that was the official word.
Well, JJ.
For now. Oh, JJ did. Okay, so that's not official. Okay, whatever.
The prequels are still canon, but JJ said he's not touching midi-chlorians, he's not touching any of that crap.
Thank you, God. But we're here to talk about the ones that actually are leading up to Force Awakens.
Yes, starting out with Star Wars.
The classic, Star Wars A New Hope.
Episode 4, A New Hope, yes.
Or Star Wars, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it. There's many names. But we all know what we're talking about. The original movie that came out in the summer of 1977, yes.
Which was a great year for film.
We weren't alive, but hey.
We weren't alive, but
we'll definitely back. It. Yes. So, obviously, I think it's not hard to guess that me and Sean both really, really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, this is one of my first film memories of being a young kid. I mean, besides like Disney movies and stuff. I remember being 6 years old. We'd go over to my aunt and uncle's house, and then my parents, you know, they'd visit them, and I'd be bored because I'm 6. I don't want to sit out there with a bunch of adults, you know. And so my uncle, he's like, here, come here. And brought me to where their TV was, and they're like, I have these great movies for you to watch. They're called Star Wars. And I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. And he pops it in, and I just remember being enamored with this movie. Yeah. I'd heard little bits from my older sister. I didn't know what they meant, like Darth Vader, who's that? Like stuff like that, but I still remember that feeling.
For me, I was really young. I must have been like 5 or 6, and my cousin had them on VHS. I believe it was the special editions, and I always saw the special editions when I was a kid. It's just out of circumstance.
I remember actually watching both. I think my uncle owned the originals, so I actually remember those.
But he popped in A New Hope, and I was like, oh, cool, Star Wars. I'll check it out, and my love affair began. It just never ended. Yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed with Star Wars. And,
me too.
Personally, my favorite film actually happens to be this one, and I'll get into that a little bit.
Favorite film in the Star Wars series, you mean, right?
Yes, in the Star Wars series, and one of my favorite films of all time. It's in my top 5, so.
Okay.
Yes, so close. Yes, close to that. But, would you like to dive in to talking about this?
Yeah, so how you want to start? You just want to start with the positives then, or?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything is good.
Gosh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, we could go on and on. There's just so much in this series that is good, and it's just, it's amazing that, you know, that a film series could do so many things right, you know, from a guy who obviously was not perfect, from a team of people that were not handed everything from the start. They had to fight for it.
This is one of the... Actually, this is the most profitable independent movie ever made, really.
Well, I mean, it technically wasn't independent. It was financed by the studios.
Sure, it's not independent in the same way as, like, Mad Max or Blair Witch Project or something, but it's still...
But, you know, to be fair, you know, this was made for $8.5 million, which was quite a bit at the time, but not a big budget, you know, huge like today. And it became a phenomenon that nobody was expecting to be a phenomenon.
Yeah, let's give a bit of context to where film was at the time.
Well, sci-fi was like a niche genre. You know, the biggest hits were like Planet of the Apes in 2001, and those got like, what, 16 to 20 million
and
at the box office?
Those, which even 2001 wasn't really a hit at the time. Well, it was a hit, but it wasn't like...
No, those are the hits.
Classic.
Those are the sci-fi hits.
Yeah.
And that's how much they made, and it's just kind of amazing to think that now sci-fi is such a, you know, such a huge moneymaker.
Studios looked at this like, oh, what's this silly sci-fi? What the hell is that? This guy's weird. Okay, I guess whatever. Fine, we'll throw some money his way. We don't trust this movie. The ironic thing is they put this other movie on, and they made the deal with the theaters that they had to show this other movie. I forget what the movie's called, which is funny. They had to show that, and Star Wars. No one remembers this movie, and that movie bombed. What is the movie called?
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
It's in the Empire Dreams documentary.
Yeah, I don't remember that part.
Okay. But, by the way, if you want more information on the background of this trilogy, watch the Empire Dreams documentary. It's on YouTube. I think both of us can recommend that documentary to anyone who's interested in that stuff.
But anyway, to keep it short, let's just talk about a few things we liked about the movie. Starting us off, I'm going to say the characters. I love the characters.
Absolutely.
I love Han Solo is my favorite character in the entire series. And I think he's so good in this film, and all of them, but this one particularly.
Awesome.
I love he starts out as kind of a scumbag, kind of a scoundrel, and just through circumstances thrust into this conflict with our heroes, but does show a good side, does show that he has, a legitimate good side to him, and it comes through, and I really love that kind of character, that multi-dimensional.
Yeah. There's definitely a character development, great character arc with his character, as there is with all of them. Leia, you got Luke, amazing, well-written character. Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I mean, Luke is important because he's our eyes and ears. Like, he is the way we see the galaxy.
He's our protagonist.
So,
the
he's supposed to be the guy
term,
we identify with. So I think he did a really good job, Mark Hamill. All the casting is spot on, too. Very, very good work, Lucas, on casting this film. Definitely picked the right people for the job.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Lucas, he gets a lot of flack for his directing style, but honestly, it's not directed too terribly. Yeah, there's some bad line reading sometimes. I understand that.
I've told people it's got to be the actors who just gave it to this movie, because I know Lucas is known to not be the best director. Yeah. They even make fun of him for it.
You want to bring up, Lucas, because Lucas gets, I feel, too much hate. And I'll joke at the guy's expense, too, to be fair. So, I'm not trying to sound like a hypocrite or anything, but I think the guy still created Star Wars. Mm-hmm. He still brought this wonderful galaxy to life for us.
Oh, yeah, I'll always be thankful to Lucas, even though he gets a lot of crap for kind of, trying to destroy what he created.
The special editions.
Yeah. But in the end, my love of Star Wars is not fazed by the existence of the prequels or the existence of the special editions.
I prefer the original editions for the most part. Disney, I would love it if they would release these on Blu-ray.
I think it's 20th Century Fox.
20th Century Fox would probably have to do this one too, to be fair, that's true.
They have the rights to that one forever. So.
But the sequels, at least, they could do, although it would be weird if they did that. I
think it's 2020 is when they get the rights to the sequels, I think. I'm not sure on that, but...
Oh, okay, so we might just have to wait till then, but...
Or until they make the deal. But...
Anyway.
The characters, yes. And then just side characters that really could have just been not notable were given so much life by not only their performances, but their design and their...
And the fandom, too, I mean...
Well, I'm talking about... No, I'm not saying the fandom. I'm saying the fans latched onto these characters because they were written so well, because they were created so well. It's not... Fans don't assign worth to characters. They latch on to the worth.
No, exactly. Like Wedge. I mean...
Well, not even that, I mean, there's kind of the weird obsessions with some characters. I like Wedge a lot, but I'm talking about C-3PO. A character that could have just been a dry robot character. It's given so much, energy and life into him.
That's credit to Anthony Daniels. I mean, that guy is great.
And same with R2-D2, a character that doesn't even speak, brought to life by Kenny Baker and Ben Burt together. Mm-hmm. Made him a very fun, lovable character.
I love the banter between the two. We start off with these two characters, and they're the only characters that are in all six. And just the banter that starts, come on, you overweight glob of grease. Just the lines 3PO is saying about R2 and...
Yeah, it's just, it's very well put together side characters, because if you watch most movies, you're not going to remember the people who tag along.
That's true,
as much.
Usually don't.
But these characters are iconic. If I show a little kid a picture of R2-D2, they'll be like, that's R2-D2. He doesn't have a memorable name. He doesn't talk. He, doesn't really have anything particularly blatantly notable about him.
That's it.
He's just cute and written well and placed in great situations and given great things to do.
Exactly.
That's all he needed.
Yeah, and let's not forget the great villain, one of the most the most iconic villain in movie history.
Probably the most iconic villain in movie history, Darth Vader. It's funny how many iconic things Star Wars has. The most iconic robot, the most iconic villain. Yeah, it's very funny, but...
Darth Vader,
Yeah, he's
awesome.
pretty amazing. In this movie, he's given like the least to do. He's kind of just like the muscle.
He is.
But even as the muscle,
I'll talk
works.
to him about him more in Empire, because I think that's when he really shines as a badass.
Yeah, but we'll just touch on him. He's great. But I actually really do like Grand Moff Tarkin too. He seems like the kind of cold commander, that you would envision the Empire having.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the evil,
Yeah, and Peter Cushing's great in that role.
He is. He's really well casted, and I like what they did with the Empire. It makes them, they feel like villains, but they don't have to be blatantly like always doing something evil.
And they're like silly villains. Like you're legit scared of them.
No, definitely.
They're corny, because this kind of comes off of it does come off of Flash Gordon and stuff. And they were very corny. They were poking fun at themselves. Think the Batman '60s TV show, basically stuff like that. But here they took these villains and these heroes both really seriously, and it does the movie so well for it. Because could you imagine if they didn't take this seriously? Would have been perfect for the time. I don't think we would remember it at all.
I don't want to I want to switch gears, but there was a lot of talk of Star Wars is dead because they don't have a disco soundtrack. People legitimately thought this.
Yeah.
And they thought, you're dead. There's no way you can succeed. Little did they know that...
Let's get into John Williams.
John Williams.
Oh my God.
Probably the greatest single choice they ever made for Star Wars.
Did Spielberg recommend him? Or was that just my friend Spielberg?
They were friends.
Yeah.
And, I think it was because of Jaws that...
I didn't know if it was like a blatant recommendation or if he was like, I saw my friend Spielberg's movie. I'll use
I don't know exactly what it is. All I know is
that
it was probably because they knew each other. So.
No, yeah, totally.
But then John Williams wrote the most iconic, the most terrific...
There is none more known than...
Star Wars.
The Star Wars theme. I mean, come on.
Yeah, just the entire soundtrack is so memorable. Like every theme, every little beat is great. It's just... It's incredible how he made it a soundtrack like that.
The way I've been listening to the soundtrack this week leading up to Force Awakens, of all these films, especially the original trilogy, and the soundtrack plays so well with the movie. And I know he was making it a space opera.
Yeah.
And he did that really well because, part of it's because I've seen the movie so many times I know when the music cues happening.
Yeah.
But I can just picture in my head, and hear the lines of the characters as the music is going,
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars wouldn't have been anything if it wasn't for the music. I mean, that's just really what gets the emotion out and gets the intensity out of the movie is the score. And it's so terrific.
And, I can't wait to hear it in Force Awakens. I'm so excited.
Finally get some new John Williams cues.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching the trailers for these, and when they start playing the original themes, I'm getting, goosebumps.
And I'm excited to see what the new ones are. I'm like, what is he going to come up with? It's always good. So,
Anyway.
But then John Williams and then Ben Burt, who...
Absolutely. We got to mention him.
Because the sound is the other thing that's super iconic about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what a blaster sounds like. Everyone knows what a lightsaber sounds like.
Everyone knows what...
Darth Vader's breathing.
Yeah.
I love the story about Darth
everything.
Vader's breathing. They were trying to come up with a way to do it. And they decided to put a microphone inside of a scuba mask.
Yeah.
And get the sound of breathing, and that's how they created that. And it's just so cool. That's how
and
sound
it
design...
so well.
That's how sound design used to be. There were no computers. There were no synthesizers.
Yeah, they would go out...
They were very primitive.
Or Chewbacca's growls. They're like bears and I believe lions.
And they went out and literally recorded the animals.
They went to zoos and stuff.
And then Ben Burt was able to form a language out of it, which is just so cool.
It's so cool.
And then you need that for a universe like Star Wars. You need it for something that's so expansive and so dense. You need it to feel that way.
Something about Star Wars is the universe feels lived in. A lot of people say this, but it's true. Mm-hmm. It feels like this is a universe that exists somewhere.
Yeah.
And, people have lived here for centuries and millenniums.
Yeah, and you just think, there's a lot of original and cool ideas that make sense. Well, what is Luke? He's a moisture farmer because he lives on a desert planet and they need water. That's kind of cool. These are things that they could have just easily made him like a regular old farmer, but no, they're like, what's the sci-fi version of it? And that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. I like all the little touches that Lucas put in because it definitely does feel like he had a bigger story in mind and created a world, and then this is the first part of a bigger story.
Right, which it was. Yeah. It was meant to be like a 300-page, I believe, script, and then he was like,
it was like a 200-page script, and he's like, I don't want to. I don't want to I want to get rid of all these ideas. So he's like, all right, I'll make this first part, and then make the later ones no matter what. And luckily, it was a smash hit. So
yeah, it kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Let's see, what else do we need to talk about for this?
Well, I mean, it's just everything about it. I'm going to talk about the story. I really do enjoy this story, and this is why it's my favorite movie. It very much feels like a self-contained little story, but it also feels like it's a part of a bigger, piece.
Yeah.
The main crux is they got to destroy the Death Star to prevent, the Empire from basically taking complete control of the entire galaxy without any say or,
I mean, I feel like since it's a review discussion, I feel like I want to bring up a couple of the things people have noticed, at least. I mean, they're sort of nitpicks, but, why do they have to fly around the Death Star to get to the hole? Why not? Or, sorry, why do they have to go through the whole trench to get to the hole? Why not just fly around the Death Star until you're close to the hole, go in and shoot it?
Yeah, but I mean, it's fine. The scene is very suspenseful. I really like that. I like the run on the trench kind of thing. It's pretty cool. And I mean, I understand that they're trying to avoid the turrets when they're in the trench, so that's why they're down there.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
I mean...
It's a great scene. I'm not hating on it or anything. I just want to
you could definitely nitpick this film, for sure. There are, a little bit of problems, but for what it was able to do, I mean, this is the thing that created it all. This is where it all started. Empire was able to ride on the coattails a little bit of this. This had to prove itself.
I'll preview the next video, but I actually like Empire a little bit more.
A lot of people do.
I love this movie, though.
A lot of people do, but I just have to give this one respect for creating something so amazing out of nothing.
Yeah, it's really a fairy tale in a lot of ways, but in a really good way, not demeaning it. It is, but in the best way possible. I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies, of course. This is a movie that, when I think of why film is so great, this is one of those I think of, because film, when it's great, can really get you sucked into a world, and be it a serious movie where it's trying to teach you something or give you another point of view or something fantastical like this, it sucks you into this world. So for a couple hours, whatever you're going through that day, you can be distracted and just enjoy this
into it. Yeah.
Total story through the visuals, the sounds, and the acting and the writing. And this is a prime example. Every time I watch this, it takes me back to being a kid. I don't know a better way to say it. I feel like a kid every time I put this in. And I've seen this movie so many times. I don't even know how many.
Yeah, definitely the nostalgia comes back to me every time I watch it.
Yeah.
I'm so... I can never watch this movie enough, It's just... It has the rewatch value, extreme rewatch value. It appeals to both kids and adults. It does everything that a movie like this should do, and that's why I think it was so successful. And that's why I think there's such a powerful fan base behind this movie. A fan base that's unparalleled. There is no other movie franchise that is nearly as popular as Star Wars.
That's interesting. I want to ask you, why do you think that is?
I think that is just because, it appeals to so many different audiences. The sci-fi fans can get into it. The fantasy fans can get into it. The drama and the comedy fans can both get into it, There's a love story for people who enjoy that. There's the action.
More of the sequels, but yeah.
Well, I mean, there's the beginnings of it, and we see it developed, but it's there. And we see, there's action for people who love the action. It encompasses all these genres, all of these different ideas into one package, and that's what I think is so great about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's Star Wars. It's hard to think of more stuff to say that people haven't already said. Mm-hmm. It's the Joseph Campbell archetypes. Perfectly well done. George Lucas, bravo, good job on doing what he...
Yeah, and I have to give credit to the actors and what they did, like Alec Guinness, all of that he brings to the role of Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's very, very, very necessary role, and he brings a lot to it, and every actor brings their A game, and some of these actors didn't have a lot of experience, and this is something cool about Force Awakens that I'm seeing, paralleling this. A lot of the actors are pretty brand new.
Yeah, most of them.
Which is cool. I love seeing that.
Yeah, speaking of Ben, I love his dialogue about the Force. It's so fascinating learning about this. It's a total made-up thing, but it's become such a staple of, the dialect. Like,
Yeah.
if someone says, "May the Force be with you," you know instantly what they're talking about. You don't even have to be a hardcore Star Wars fan or anything. You know.
No, that's the other thing. It's just there's so many things about Star Wars that are just synonymous with pop culture. You know, it's just really kind of interesting that way. You know, we could. One thing we should probably mention before we end is you know there is the special editions, and you know there are thing.
Han shot first, guys. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I hate that scene too.
Yeah, I mean, but you know we're not going to talk about them that much because there are other videos that go in depth.
Yeah, there's two things I want to bring up in the Jedi one, but that's about it. Honestly, that and those.
I mean, for me, it's like you know, yeah, a couple of the changes are annoying, but it's nice to see the restored Blu-ray versions of the films. They look very, very good.
I'm fine with the special editions existing. I just would like to have these as an option, you know?
Yeah. I mean, still restore them, though. I love the restored.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like, you know, Blade Runner or something has like 5 different cuts. You
Yeah.
can watch any of them, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I just want to bring that up. But overall, I think me and you both.
I think, yeah, this is easily one of my all-time favorite movies.
I think you're both 5 out of 5 stars for us for ratings.
Oh, God, I'd have to think. Yeah, it does. 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. So that's all we can really say, keeping it short, you know.
You know, and I want to put this out there, though, in case you're watching this video and you've never seen this. Give it a chance, you know, because I've heard people say, I don't really want to watch it. I feel like it's been overhyped or, you know, even more extremes than that.
Just take 2 hours out of your life and sit down and watch it.
And,
you know?
hey, even if you hate it, great. Please comment. I would be actually fascinated to know why you don't like it. That's fine.
Yeah. But I'm going to bet that you can find something out of it. That
Absolutely.
Like. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the end of this video. Stay tuned for Empire and Jedi before Force Awakens tomorrow night. I am way so excited.
I can't tell you, like, I think this is, not only is this one of the most movies I want to see most, it's one of the reviews I most want to talk about, because I know that our energy level is probably going to be pretty high, because we will have seen a new Star Wars movie for the first time in 10 years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it'd be my second theatrical, because the only other time I went was Revenge of the Sith. I didn't even see the other 2 prequels.
Well, unless you count Phantom Menace 3D.
Oh, that's true. I think
He went to see Phantom Menace in 3D.
I had to know.
I was like, I'm not paying
Morbid
any
curiosity,
money.
I had to know.
I'm not spending money on
That's
a
right.
gimmick and a terrible movie. Yeah.
But, what was I going to say? Crap.
We'll catch you guys in Empire, believe what we were going to say.
Alright.
See you in the next video. May the Force
be with you.
What are you, mind tricking them? May the Force be with you.
You will like this video.
Credits will do fine.
You will subscribe.
There we go. You will subscribe to our YouTube channels.